Welcome back to The Edge. Today I'm going to share some tips and tricks which have helped me in my street photography journey so far. Some you may know, some you may not, but every little trick has helped me along the way. Trying new things, distinguishing what I like and what I don't like, what helps and what doesn't help. So yeah, next step is start with your phone. Everybody's got one, everybody's used to it. It's that confidence thing again. Everybody's looking at me because I've got a camera, which doesn't happen, by the way. But if you go out straight away with your phone, you're just comfortable. You're in that environment where everybody has one. It's a nice wide angle. You can zoom, find a little focal length you enjoy using. You can also use the volume as a shutter button, which really helps. Check out some images that I just took with my phone because I had it on me. That old quote, the best camera is the one you have on you. Next thing I look for when I'm on the street, in my head straight away, I go with light, moment, composition. Being a wedding photographer, I'm going to have to slightly say moment pushes it for me, but equally, one on their own can really make an image. So yeah, look for that light, look for that composition, and hopefully the moment will appear. A little tip I learned from wedding photography was try and make the focal point of your image the brightest part of the frame because your eyes will naturally go to that. So if you're framing, if you're ready, look for a darker background where the light is hitting something. So if your subject walks into that, the light's going to hit that. And against the dark background, that subject's going to pop. Another cool little tip for lighting, especially looking for highlights, is if you squint your eyes slightly, you'll see the highlights in the frame, the brightest part of that. And if you expose for those, your image will pop. So if you get harsh light and your subject's in the frame against the dark background, expose for those. Check out the Sunny 16 rule. And you can have some high contrast images which really, really do stand out. Good old fishing in street photography. You found your frame, you found your backdrop, you found something really cool, you found the light, you got your composition. Now you're just waiting for that moment to appear. The constant questions as I'm here with my camera, looking through the viewfinder, is what can I add to this frame? Or what can I take out of this frame? So sometimes a slight little left or right, a little step over can make the difference. And yeah, sometimes keeping your two eyes open, one in the viewfinder and one just scanning, your peripheral expands. So you can see things coming into the frame ready. Now you've got everything, your light, your composition, and that moment is there. And you've added some things and you've taken them out because they can all add and take away from the image. The good old hunting is next. Yeah, basically chasing people around your town. Sometimes people just stand out for whatever reason, something they're wearing, the color, you're chasing colors to coordinate with something else. Hunt means follow or run ahead. What I tend to do is run ahead of something and then see if there's anything, any cool background that this person would look great in. Try not to make it obvious. I'll show you one here, which was taken in Crete. So I noticed my subject. I noticed a mural further down. The two sang together and just made an obvious photo for me. Everyone's favorite right now seems to be is layering. A little game and a little tip that I do when I'm trying to layer, not look for overlaps. It's a difficult game to play. It doesn't happen often. Some of my favorite images have slight overlaps and they work, some don't. So yeah, I try to get equal distances in between my subjects as well for clarity, cleanliness. It's just a game I play. Doesn't make or break an image. I'll show you one here now. It just makes you think when you're framing those layered shots, it just gives you an extra little thing to think about and then can make your composition even better. Don't get fixated with that one though, because as I mentioned, one of my all-time favorite Alex Webb images, there's crossovers. Let your personality shine through in your images also. I think it's very important that your personality comes across in your images because that gives you the motivation to keep going and keep going and keep doing it. I grew up in a rugby club in Wales, full of joviality. So those are the images that definitely resonate with me still in my wedding photography and my street photography. Be you and do you all the time. A few quick tips, which you already know. Wear comfortable shoes. Get those steps in. It'll keep you fit. That's one of the biggest things about street photography. I think my record was 32,000 steps in Brooklyn and New York. So yeah, I'm a big favorite of just walking, 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 and hoping something appears rather than staying in one place for too long. I'm quite impatient. People have asked me, how long have you stayed there to capture that shot? Sometimes in my weddings on street. And honestly, sometimes these things just appear. Equally, if there is something cool, you find the cool backdrop, you know something is going on, you find some cool colors that resonate with you. I have no problem equally staying 5, 10, 15. I've probably never stayed anywhere longer than that. I'll show you some images now. I've just stayed in the same place and let different things evolve around that scene. Next tip, get high, get low, get near, get far. Get high. I don't mean bring a drone. You can. I know there's a little bit of controversy with drones in street photography last year. So maybe just get above something, a little balcony, some steps. You get a different viewpoint, different focal point, and it'll make the image feel a lot different. Obviously then get low. With tilt screens in your camera nowadays, you can literally put your camera on the floor. You'll just get a different perspective. Something your brain doesn't consciously see because you see at this distance from this height usually. So something from the floor hitting a different perspective, your brain sometimes goes, oh, why do I like that? And then near and far. Don't be afraid to get in, capture the moment, and sometimes get out. It's a confidence thing, definitely, because it's something I've picked up from wedding photography. Sometimes I'll watch a moment and I'll get in, think about what I'm trying to capture, those last few steps, raise the camera, get what I need, and get out of there. Again, you'd be surprised that people just don't care. Another little sub tip there. If someone does capture you and looks at you, give a little wave beyond. Hey, how you doing? I've done that quite a few times. Just if you look into the background in the distance, people just think, oh, I thought he was taking a picture of me, but nope. He's obviously taking a picture of someone in the background. So yeah, equally then sometimes just take a step back, 10 steps back. Think of the whole scene. Just keep looking. And a good tip, like I mentioned earlier, is what can I add to the scene? What can I take away from the scene? And sometimes with a big wide view, those equal gaps games sometimes play into your hands. You can't control what's going on in front of you, obviously, but sometimes you get lucky. Another little tip is focusing. In wedding photography, I'm back button focusing all the time, constantly moving subjects. I use a thing called 3D tracking, which tracks people. So I'm constantly using that. It's great for low light shots and everything, but that's a completely different camera. So on the street, I'm using the Fuji X100VI, and I like to use it in the zone focusing. Some people get a bit confused. What is zone focusing? I get it, starting out. So basically, you'll have your zone of depth, which is all in focus, the higher aperture you go. A tip I use on a sunny day is that f16 sunny 16 that I told you about. So if you can see here, see that blue line? Obviously it's dark and it's not going to focus against me, but imagine this was sunlight. That blue line here now shows you everything that's going to be in focus. So you're going from 1 meter to infinity. So everything from 1 meter all the way to infinity is going to be in focus on a sunny day at f16. If something then catches your eye and comes in closer and you think, oh, my focus is from one meter onwards, what I can do is back button focus to the floor. Then I know that focus is a closer distance. So I know whatever's nice and close to my camera is then going to be in focus. Don't forget the coffee, don't forget the water. Most importantly, don't forget to enjoy it. If you did enjoy that video, have a little look here at the video we made about all about composition. Obviously, feel free to give a like, a subscribe. It means everything to us here at The Edge. Come along for the journey. See you soon.